Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our first community-driven outreach program learning network event. Today is our kickoff, and we're so grateful to have you all here. So we have a jam-packed agenda. We'll start off by introducing the Health Commons team, then talk about the purpose of the space, spend some time getting to know each other by doing partner introductions, and then we're going to have a partner highlight and end with Shireen from DH about available resources and technical assistance that is available for you to use. I'll introduce myself and then I'll pass it on to my colleagues. My name is Dua Al-Jali. I have my background is in MPH. I grew up in Iowa, currently in Vancouver, Washington, and I'm one of the program managers here at Health Commons. I used to support schools through the Learn to Return program, and now I support you all through the CDO program.
Thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Roa Al-Khair. I'm also a program manager at Health Commons. I've been supporting most of you guys throughout this journey on the CDO program. And I've also supported many school districts across the state of Washington through our other programming. So excited to be here and finally like a time for us to all like collaborate and see each other.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hannah Rep Brown, and I have the great fortune and good luck of working alongside Dua and Rua, Jasmine and Chad, and many others at Health Commons Project on this community-driven outreach program. Just happy to be here and grateful that you're all here with us.
So the purpose of the Learning Network is to cultivate a collaborative space where we can all connect, share knowledge, share challenges, successes, and support each other. I think as part of the African diaspora, we all know the importance and value of community. So we thought it would only be appropriate for our first Learning Network session to be about building community and resource exchange. Our goal is to have bi-monthly learning networks, and this is why we really value your feedback. So by the end of this presentation and the email to follow up, we'll have a survey link so that we can hear back from you. Essentially, we want to know what it is that you want the learning networks to be about. So our goal is for you as the partners to lead these learning networks. We just hope to provide the space and facilitate. So this is, I think, always the fun part for me. Again, going back to building communities. I'm sure some of you already know each other or are familiar with some of these logos that you're seeing in front of you, but I think there are some that don't know each other. And so we'd like to go around and we'd like for everyone to share their name, their location, their organization, and its mission. And the fun part, if we were to have a potluck, what would you bring to the potluck? So I'll start. I think, I've shared my name, location, and then I think right now, summer-ish time, I would bring a fruit salad to a potluck.
Sure. My name is Samona. The name of my organization is Gifts of Hope. We cater to known low-income families of color, and we try to provide them opportunities and resources that they wouldn't ordinarily get. And so what would I bring? I would bring chicken tikka masala because I love it. It's one of my favorite dishes. And so, yeah, that's what I would bring to the party.
Hello, everyone. My name is Davis Chiro, and I'm from Channel 8 TV. It's so good to see some familiar logos on the screen. Most of the folks we've interacted in some shape or form. We're based in King County, and we primarily use media as a platform to plug into the community and use our platform to bring awareness to different things. We've done stuff from census to immigration to health to COVID vaccines and all that stuff. So it's a privilege to be here, and I'm so excited to collaborate and work with people that we know already and people that we are about to know from now onwards. So we're based in King County, but we pretty much cover everything from King County all the way to Spokane, and we're excited to be part of this. So if we had to come to a potluck, I'll probably bring a fruit salad as well. That's the easiest thing I can do. I wish I could dig into my traditional food, but I don't think I can get the ingredients here in the United States. So it's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. My name is Sariang, and our organization's name is New World International. We are located in Vancouver, Washington. Pretty much our focus area is serving the African diaspora here in Clark County, providing resources that they would now find on their own. The dish I will bring, of course, will be lamb chops. Our traditional cooked lamb chops. That's what I'll bring to the potluck. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm Lynn Carlson. I'm the board secretary of the Tri-Cities Diversity and Inclusion Council in Tri-Cities, Washington, based out of Pasco. And our mission is to uplift education and advocacy and support for communities that are experiencing marginalization and oppression, as well as being able to help create cultural competency, for lack of a better phrase, within the Tri-Cities so that we can have a more unified community. And what I would bring to a potluck would probably be naan bread.
It's good to see everybody. And it's a very great opportunity for me to be here and represent my community and also meet partners. The name of our organization is the Farm Outreach, and our mission is to connect, to bridge the gaps and connect communities to resources. We say that together we bring change. If I were to bring a potluck, I would bring Kenyan tea and samosas.
Hello, everyone. My name is Grace Maseko, and I'm the executive administrator for Channel A TV. As Davis has mentioned, we give a voice to our community members and give them resources that they need on their day-to-day life. And for the potluck, I am a big fan of spinach. So everybody will be eating spinach on that day.
For those who don't know me, I'm Tiffany Morgan Dickerson. I am with Black Women Housing Alliance. We are a nonprofit, and we help communities of color and get out the word of education and about surrounding around health and wellness. And we focus on building yourself, housing your house as a person, and building from the inside out. And I think what would I bring to the potluck? I think I would probably bring a seafood lasagna to the potluck.
My name is Shireen Khinda, and I'm with DH. I'm actually presenting a little bit later, so I won't talk too much. But DH's mission is to create positive change. And I would probably also bring samosas to a potluck. My family actually owns an Indian restaurant here in Spokane, and so I'm very spoiled with Indian food all the time.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jasmine. I work with Health Commons Project as a project manager on the CDO team. Let's see, for fall, I really enjoy bringing maybe like a pumpkin bread or pumpkin muffins or something like that to a potluck.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you. So my name is Akuna, and I am a project manager at Mission Africa. We are based in Federal Way, Washington, but I'm actually out of the state, so I work virtually. We work all over Washington State, primarily South King County, and our mission is to empower children and families in our 3 core focus areas, which are healthcare, education, and poverty alleviation. A lot of times those things intersect as well, so it works out perfectly. To a potluck, the first thing I was going to say is fruit salad, but that was the first thing that was said. So I will probably say a kale salad then, a nice refreshing kale salad. I'm plant-based, so a little biased there. And then our executive director, Ndidi Chukwu, is here, but she's not able to be on camera. And she typed in the chat that she would bring jollof rice, which is amazing if you've never had it. Thank you.
Thank you. Kathy Maelstrom, and I work alongside Shireen at DH, which she mentioned she's going to speak. For a potluck, no one has mentioned yet anything sweet. So I love to bake, so I would definitely bring something sweet to a potluck.
Oh, I would also bring a dessert. Kathy and I are, our souls speak to each other with something sweet and something baked.
We have KD Hall Foundation. They're also based in the King County area, the Diaspora Family Healing Network, and the Somali Health Board. But thank you everyone for introducing yourself.
So next, I would love to introduce Samona. You guys heard a little bit about the work that she does. I've been working with Samona since the beginning of this year, and so really excited for you guys to hear the work that she's been doing through the CDO program and how she's impacting her community. So Samona, take it away.
First of all, I want to thank you for this opportunity. All of us who received awards, we were truly blessed to have received them because our impact on the community is even greater because of you all. So I just want to say thank you, first of all. Again, my organization is Gifts of Hope. We're based in Seattle and Renton. We serve all of Washington. Our focus are communities of color, where we want to provide resources and opportunities that they might not usually, get within the community. And so we want to be there for them and help to uplift them and just create great opportunities for them. So as you can see, the flyers that we have up there, those are the 3 events that I've done thus far, which is a Juneteenth event, a back to school event at Emerson Elementary, and most recently a back to school community event at the Boys and Girls Club. And so with the Juneteenth event, we had about 1,000 families come out. And for the back to school event, we had about 2,000 families come out. And the reason I give you the numbers is because when I first got started with the back to school event, I took my own money and bought 25 backpacks and brought all the kids within the neighborhood behind my apartment. I would say it was Ethiopians, Somali, and Gambian kids and African-American kids. I brought them all back there. They needed backpacks and I gave them out. And that's where I began, with 25 kids. And so this year, because of receiving the award I received, I was able to give out 2,000 backpacks to kids who came from all over Washington state to get haircuts, to get shoes, clothing, COVID testing, childhood immunizations right before school started. And so I'm just grateful for this opportunity to be awarded and to just partner and to meet all of you. So again, we serve mostly Seattle, Renton, Tukwila, South Seattle. But let's see. I want to talk about first how I go about advertising for my events. Social media is key for us. We advertise on every family group page. We advertise on Instagram. One thing that's good to do is to go to 211 and let them know what you're doing. Tell them your event is coming up. And every year they'll reach out to you to see if your event's coming up. And so when people call to find out what's going on in your community, they'll list your event and give the details. And so we make sure that we advertise on there. So we've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years. So now people reach out and find out when the back to school event is for Gifts of Hope or the Juneteenth event. They reach out and find out, oh, I need to get tested for COVID. Are they going to have a COVID clinic? We've had it since 2020. So they know that we're going to have the COVID units at our events. So they reach out, they ask the question. So 211 is key as far as advertisement for your events. Door to door, we also go door to door, and because the event is held in South Seattle, we make sure we have translators. We have Somali translators. We have individuals that are Gambian or Ethiopian or Vietnamese. We make sure we take those people along with us so that our community can understand what's coming, what we're about to do, and we want to invite them out. And also to let them know, hey, if you need a health screening, the Department of Health caravan is going to be there. If you need a glucose check, they're going to be there if you want to get tests for COVID. And so I just want to make sure, it's important to me to make sure the whole community knows what's going on. Let's see, DOH. And so this year it was cool. So first of all, I want to say, because we've had, since 2020, we've had a COVID clinic every single event. We have, because of us bringing the COVID clinic to the community, we've gotten over 122 people vaccinated. And at our last event, I didn't think the numbers would be that high because we come, every couple months, but we were able to get 15 people vaccinated at this last event. And we got 5 people who got childhood immunizations and 4 glucose checks. And I think it was 6 health screenings. And so it's needed wherever you go. Those, if I were you, and I've already scheduled for my Christmas event, you can go online, fill out the registration form for the Department of Health caravan. They'll bring a van there. And so basically within the van, they'll set up things outside of the van, and they can get all the checks. Sorry, my dog's deciding to bark right now, but they can get all the checks. And then if you're doing an inside event, they'll also come inside to set up. And it's really awesome, because if you advertise ahead of time, you can let the community know, hey, if you haven't gotten vaccinated, now's your time. Hey, if you're not up to date with your childhood immunizations, now's your time. You can just come across the street. You can come down the street, and or you can hop on the light rail to our event. So the Department of Health going online and the registration, and sometimes you'll have to do it more than a couple of weeks in advance. So I have a Christmas event coming up, and thank you. Yeah, it's posted in the chat also, where you can just click on it, go and sign up for your next event. Something that is important to me is hiring people of color to come in and work at the events. I have one woman who is, she's my favorite. She's Somali. She's about 60 years old, and she doesn't speak English well, but she wanted to work. So guess what I made her do? I made her get out there and greet people. This was her first year, and she greeted everybody. I gave her a few words and she would greet everybody. Second year, she learned a few more, and now guess what she's doing now? She's one of our coordinators. She's one of our coordinators. Sometimes I have to tell her she's not in charge. I'm in charge, but she's one of our coordinators. And it's just awesome. I love to give people a chance who might not ordinarily have a chance. And so, I have one woman who is now an event coordinator, something she dreamed of doing. And so we kind of trained her, and now she's doing it for our events. And it's just, wonderful when you take somebody who has a dream and you help them achieve that dream, and so we try to get people within the community to work on the events, as well as children, youth. Well, I shouldn't say children. Yeah, youth and teenagers. We get them to work behind the scenes as well. And some of them, it's not only for them to receive, but for them to give as well. And so, that's a focus for us as far as who we hire, as far as balloon artists. So if you guys need balloon artists of color, inflatables, any of that kind of stuff, I can definitely refer you. It's important that we support. Let's see, population. Like I said, my population is mostly African American, Somali, Gambian, Ethiopian, and Vietnamese. We try to have translators at all of our events. Successes. I think our successes are our partnerships that we formed throughout the years. Partnerships are important. It's not just about meeting someone once and then going your way, but it's about meeting them. And this is what I do every couple of months. Hey, how you doing? I'm just calling to say hi, or just send an email to say hi, because you never know, when you're going to need that person. They may need you, or just invite them out to your event. And so it's key to me to do that. And advertisement is key as well, because we partnered with, I did a back to school event, I think 2 years ago, and I got a call from McDonald's, and they were like, we don't want to interrupt you, but we would love to be a part of your event if you'd let us. And I'm like, you're McDonald's, of course I'll let you, but I'm being cool and calm. But she was just like, but I don't want to take up your time. You can call me back if you want. I was like, no, I'll talk to you now. And so advertisement is key. Being out in the community is key. Having something for everybody is key. And like I said, with my community, I make sure, if I can afford it, to have something that's halal, or just making something that everybody, can partake in, everyone can eat, everyone could be a part of it. And so because I've been doing this for 5 years, I might have a Christmas event, and just because you don't celebrate Christmas doesn't mean you can't come. They know that it's for community. It's for community. If you need help with clothing, we'll take care of it. It's for community. So we try to make sure our community knows us. We know their needs. We don't just do the events and hope this is what they want. We actually get out and we talk to them. And again, the 25 people that I brought, kids that I bought backpacks with, they all saw my organization grow. And I remember one little kid came up to me, and he was just like, I remember you when you were in the backyard, and now look at you, you have all this stuff. And so I was like, Muhammad, I'm gonna hire you next year. He was like, okay, you're gonna hire me? And it's his first job. It's creating excitement. It's hiring within the community, and so it's just, it's wonderful, to do what it is you're called to do, and touch the people that you can touch, and they can see you grow, and they know that if you did it, they can do it too. So successes, yeah, it's partnerships, and just relationships with the people, that we serve. And I've had people that we've helped with rental assistance, and now they're coming on to work at the events because they see that, you gave to me, now I want to give, and so that's something that's important too. And something I had this year at the back to school event is I met this man who he was one of the first who ever had COVID. And he was in the hospital from getting COVID the first time. He was in the hospital. He was in a coma for 27 days. In the hospital, I think it was for 40 or 50 days. And they didn't even have a word for COVID at the time. And so they thought it was respiratory. They gave him all these different things, and it just kept getting worse, and thank God, he's healthy now. But when he got it, when it first came out, no one knew anything. And so he came out to the event and he spoke about it. And people were taken aback because it's like you're meeting someone who is, the first couple of people in the United States to have it. And so, that's something, if any of you are interested, I can refer you to him. But it was just wonderful to hear him talk, to hear him speak about his experience. And because COVID is it's not gone and it's returning, it's important that we let the community know that, hey, this is what he went through. You may not have to go through this, but it's important to be safe. So that was something good that happened at the last event, is to have Michael come out and speak to the community. Let's see. When we do our events, what I usually do is I get the coordinators and we have Zoom meetings. We have Zoom meetings every 2 or 3 weeks where we all come together and we talk about what we're going to do. We want to bring new ideas, what worked last year, what didn't work last year. And we also bring people from the community, and we also bring, after each event, I do surveys. And so I ask the people, what worked at the event? Did you like it? Did you not like it? And so we bring in the surveys, and with all that information, that's how we decide what we're going to do for the upcoming event. Okay. And so mistakes, successes and mistakes. I would say mistakes I made are trying to please everybody. You can't please everybody. You can't make everybody happy. And like, I think we're all put here to do something different. And sometimes I think as nonprofits, we feel like we got to help everybody when it's not for us to help everyone. We just can't do it. But coming together, we can do it. So I think for me in the first couple of years, it's like, oh no, she needs help. Oh no, he needs diapers. Oh no, and it's just like, I'm not just needed to do it. There's other people who can do it too. And it's okay to say no, that you can't help, but refer them to someone else. And so I think that's a big thing that I had to learn in the very beginning, is that I can't help everybody, but there are other people. And that's why partnerships are very important, because you can refer someone, and just to know what someone else does, you may be able to refer them. So it's very important to know that we're put here as a collective on this earth to help others, not just an individual. And so, because when I came in here, I was trying to be superwoman. I was like, pulling in 50, 60 hours. I want to help this person. I want to help. And, that's how I was in the beginning. So that's something that I learned as far as that. And also another so-called mistake would be is, each year, hopefully you're growing, and your events are growing. And so sometimes you may plan for an event with the same mindset of the last event, but if it's growing, you're going to need more people. And so that's one thing I learned too, is just make sure you have enough people. Think about, are we growing? Who we're adding to the event and what we're doing. And so, yeah, those are the 2 key things I think I would share with you all. And now we are prepping for our Hope for Christmas event, where again, we always have DOH to come out and provide COVID for the community. We have PPE there. We're going to have our speaker there again, and we're going to provide clothing and things like that. Kids are going to get adopted for Christmas by the community. So we take the community and they go in and they sponsor people that are in the community. And so it's a pretty big event where about 2,000 people come out. Lots of kids are sponsored, and it's just about us coming together to make it happen. And so for me, I'm just grateful. I'm honored to receive, to be amongst you all, as far as receiving awards, because we truly are making a difference in the community. And so now I think we're going to show a video from the back to school event that we just did. And just when you watch it, keep in mind that I started with 25 backpacks, and this is what it's grown to be.
Thank you so much for sharing, Samona. The work you're doing is so valuable for the community, and it's so amazing to see how much your organization has grown and continues to grow. So we really appreciate you sharing your journey with us, challenges, successes. I think there was a couple of gems you said there that I have to sit with. We can share your contact information with other partners who would like to connect with you. Again, thank you so much for sharing. We'll pass it to Shireen from DH to talk about the technical assistance that's available to all partners through the community-driven program.
Thank you so much. And thanks, Mona, for all the detail you provided about your org. I think we'd certainly love to follow up with you and feature you in the program-wide pieces that I'll talk about a little bit later. What I'm hoping to do today is, of course, do a little bit of introduction about myself and DH. I'll also talk about technical assistance. What is that? Why do we do it? And how do we do that? And then we'll talk about the CDO platforms that kind of fall under our purview that are available to you. And then want to make sure that we save some time for questions. So I am Shireen Khinda. I'm a senior account director at DH. I use she or they pronouns. I live and I was born and raised in Spokane. I identify as Indian, and just wanted to also show some pictures of the team at DH. These are some of my lovely team members who are here to support the CDO program that DH leads and also jump into technical assistance. There's even some photos with community members and DOH staff that we've had the pleasure of working with. So who is DH? We're a communications agency. We were founded in 1996. If anyone's familiar with Ice Storm 96 in Spokane, that is how the agency was founded. There was a lot of need for communications in the midst of an environmental crisis in our region. And since then, we've been doing communications work in a variety of sectors all across the state. And we've been really lucky to work with DOH on COVID-19 communications for the past several years with a lot of grant funds that have come our way. Our website is listed here in case you want to know more about DH. But in a nutshell, our mission is to create positive change. We use social change science, creative strategy, marketing expertise, and advocacy to really drive and connect with clients and communities to make a powerful impact. So I'll talk about what technical assistance is. It is a kind of support in the form of access to information, resources, and in this case, communications tools. And then specialized skills that DH can offer, such as messaging support and creative design. So our technical assistance, or TA, sometimes shortened to, focuses on communications, and for this program, often is specific to COVID-19 and related topics. So that might be things like vaccines, transportation access, long COVID, mental health. Those are all communications topics that we have great information about, resources about, that we are really happy and excited to support you with. So DOH has contracted DH to support partners in the community-driven outreach program with technical assistance, and that is at no cost to any of you. So we, as DH, are funded by DOH. We have our own budget that we manage, and there's 3 different kinds of assistance, 3 big buckets that we tend to support partners with. So the first one on the left in that purple leaf shape is communication strategy. So this is really focused on planning and brainstorming your messages, your outreach strategies, if that's something that you want any support with. We've supported a lot of community partners with those sorts of efforts over the years. We also can support with program implementation. So say you're interested in a platform to do a certain kind of activity or to engage community members, you're really interested in digging into serving your community or doing any sort of reporting. Maybe you even want to subcontract organizations or individuals in your community and you aren't sure what all to do in that realm. We have built some great processes around subcontracting, making sure that your organization as well as your subcontractors are protected. So those are things that we can support and counsel around. And then lastly, production support. So this is the most typical kind of technical assistance that we offer. This is things that are a little bit more fun and shiny, like content development and messaging, design. So graphic design, we've got a whole team of graphic designers, video experts, web developers who can help with anything that you might be interested in that will help further your COVID-19 scopes and efforts. So again, that is a little bit of a fine line only because we'd love to certainly help you all with your own organization's branding and communications. But for this program, we're really only focused on COVID-19 communications. And we can always get ideas from you if there's things that you are interested in reaching your community about and talk through how we might best support. Our goal is really just to create accessible, culturally relevant, linguistically appropriate communications for your audiences. And sometimes that means for your org. I'll show a couple of examples of technical assistance and kind of what that really actually looks like. So on the right here, there's a little bit of a collage to show different projects we've supported on. There's some illustrated characters that you'll see. We've custom made those for community partners in the past to help organizations connect more directly with community members, make sure their community members feel represented in visuals. We've also created materials in different languages. So we've helped with language translations, and we can help manage that for any of you who are interested in that kind of support. We also have done video support. So say you're creating content and you want captioning support or just to jazz it up a little bit, that's something we can help with. We're also happy to support with any accessibility for events. Say if in person you're hosting events, we have a really great toolkit to help you ensure that you're thinking through all the ways to make your events accessible to all people of all abilities, but also for any virtual events, if you want any technical help, we're available to help with that as well, including interpretation. Lots of different things that we can support with. I want to give one specific example. This project we did for an organization called CDO Program. They are in King County and they serve the Ethiopian community. And last year we worked with them because we were funding them directly through a previous program. We worked with them to help them brainstorm how to encourage vaccine uptake in their communities. And the Ethiopian New Year celebrations were happening kind of in early to mid-September. So they thought, oh, maybe that's a great time to reach community members. So we really wanted to jump on that idea and help them. So that project was developing some materials and stickers that would be culturally relevant and help connect with people. So you'll see the image here shows a package of injera bread with a sticker on it that has in-language messages as well as English messages encouraging vaccination. It also has, symbolic flower and symbolic colors, the flower Ereabiba, which is really all about new transitions and new beginnings. And so we were really excited to partner with them on this. And they were able to get several restaurants on board who were distributing or selling rather injera bread, and have those restaurants place these stickers on those packages as they distributed them to community members. So it was a really cool way of trying to meet community members where they are, trying to encourage safe vaccination, especially as people are gathering that time of year last year. But also happy to brainstorm with you all any other ways to reach community members that you think will really resonate with them. The spirit of how we work is kind of this adage, nothing about me without me. Some of you may have heard that before, and really this strikes home for us. We want to make sure that community members feel represented, that community partners are really respected and treated as the experts that you all are in your communities, in the understanding and knowledge that you bring about your community's needs, as well as the trust that you have with them. So for us, it's really important to truly partner with you and co-create messages, help create things that are going to be culturally relevant, are going to meet people where they are, and really we're invested in your success and want to support you. So we'd certainly nerd out over these things, and we'd really love to collaborate with you on anything you think you need support with. We have a budget pool that, like I had mentioned, DH will manage. That is not anything that you have to keep track of, but for community partners across the program, which at the current state, I think is almost 100 organizations, we have a budget pool of up to 50 hours of technical assistance per organization. So that means that you, give or take a few hours, have some support you can get from the DH team. Again, we will keep track of those hours. We'll communicate about the availability that we have to support. And DH is subcontracted or contracted rather directly with DOH through May 2024. So we're available to you from now until then to support anything that you are interested in. And certainly if there are efforts that seem bigger than 50 hours, we'll let you know and kind of work to prioritize things that you think will be the best use of your time to really prioritize on your outreach efforts, but will help make your efforts run smoothly. I'll talk a little bit about how we work. Like I'd mentioned, we will work to review your requests. So there's some links on this slide, and we might put them in the chat for requesting support. But you can also email us. That's something that Kathy or I or others on the team keep tabs on. So if you submit a request for support, we'll take a look. We might meet with you to understand more. We'll want to gather all the details, and then internally we'll develop a plan of things that we think we might support with you or support you with, sorry. And then we'll discuss those with you and agree on a plan and then move ahead. So we want to make sure that whatever we support with, there's enough time for collaboration, that we get to kind of an end result that feels really great for you all. And so that's a little bit of our general process. Again, I mentioned that there's details on how to request support, but they're in the deck for reference as well. I want to just really briefly cover some CDO platforms, the partner page, Airtable, and newsletter. And there's also new how-to videos. You'll see these, we'll put links to them. The basic gist is that we created some how-to videos to help you all navigate those. We've got a website with some really great resources, a newsletter that goes out regularly that features those resources, and an Airtable, which is kind of like a Dropbox, but it's a filterable tool to find any messaging and assets that you're interested in by topic and even by language.
Welcome. You're part of the community-driven outreach program, Working Hard for Health Equity. This video series will introduce some online resources to support what you're doing. There are 3 platforms: a website, a newsletter, and a library of materials. This is part 1, and we're going to explore the community partner page. You are probably a community partner, a community-based organization working to build equity in public health in partnership with a program through the Washington Department of Health. This homepage takes you to blog posts we write on all kinds of health topics. They're under News and Updates. There's an events calendar. You can filter events by county or event type. It has things like vaccine clinics and resource fairs. You probably have a public event that could go on the calendar. Fill out the event submission form and our team will add it. Some other sections in the navigation are General Program Resources, CDO Contractor Portal, Partner Directory, and contact info for DH and DOH team members. Let's look at the Program Resources page. It has the materials library we collect in a platform called Airtable, and links to DOH's resources and other collections. There's also information from past partnerships. Let's dive into the contractor portal. This is designed for groups that have a contract or a subcontract to be a community-driven outreach program partner. You can use this portal to connect with other program partners, request TA support, access the contractor toolkit, and share your work. Technical support is available through this page. That's outreach support like strategizing a plan or producing creative elements. Fill out the TA request form to get started. The Partner Directory page helps you connect with other organizations in the CDO network. The groups serve a wide diversity of priority communities. The Contact Us page will help you when you have questions, concerns, or feedback. There's contact information for the Department of Health and for people at DH, the firm supporting the program. Visit communitypartnerpage.com to explore these resources. Send an email to partnerinfo@wearedh.com if you would like further support navigating these resources. Welcome. You're part of the community-driven outreach program, Working Hard for Health Equity. This video series will introduce some online resources to support what you're doing. There are 3 platforms: a website, a newsletter, and a library of materials. This video is part 2, exploring the Community Partner Newsletter. It helps us keep in touch with you and to keep important information flowing. The newsletter goes out every other Wednesday. It has updates like COVID-19 news, information on funding opportunities, links to communication toolkits, webinars, and other events. Subscribe to start getting the newsletter. Here's where to do that. Go to communitypartnerpage.com, scroll down to the footer, enter your information, and select Subscribe. There's another step to make sure the newsletter starts going to your inbox. You're going to get an email from MailChimp asking you to confirm you subscribed. Follow the directions in that email and check your spam or junk folder if you don't see it. Once you've confirmed, you'll start getting the newsletter every other Wednesday. We send this out to current community partners and past partners. It's a wide community, and we encourage you to share the newsletter with your teams. Subscribe to the newsletter on the Community Partner page, or reach out to partnerinfo@wearedh.com to be added to our mailing list. Welcome. You're part of the community-driven outreach program, Working Hard for Health Equity. This video series will introduce some online resources to support what you're doing. There are 3 platforms: a website, a newsletter, and a library of materials. This is part 3 in the video series, exploring the library of materials. We call the materials assets, and they are stored in a platform called Airtable. It has a wide variety of resources about COVID-19 and related topics. The topics range from official FAQs and the latest scientific research to examples of promotional flyers other organizations have used. You can access the database in 2 primary views: Gallery View or List View. Both show the same information. In either view, the top 8 to 12 resources will be marked as favorites. These are some of the most commonly accessed and up-to-date resources. That's how it looks when you first access the collection. But then you can narrow down or regroup the content you're seeing. That's how you start finding what you need in a collection of more than 1,000 items, even if you're not sure what you're looking for. Here's an example. If you want to find the most recent COVID self-testing guidance from the Washington Department of Health, you can type into the search field, self-testing guidance. Airtable will highlight all of the files that have that text. If you don't want to skim through the highlighting for items that matched your searching, you can use the filter function to see only the results that match. You can filter, group, or sort by individual fields, like source or topic, or you can combine them, like language and name. Search is the only function that looks across all fields at once. Here's more about what that means. We can search for self-testing guidance in Spanish by filtering for all files where the language is Spanish. Then stack a second filter where name contains self-testing. But what if you aren't sure of the name or topic, but you know the general format? For example, an event flyer. You can filter for an asset type of event flyer, and then group by language. That sorts all 45 available flyers into languages so you can explore and find inspiration. For a more in-depth look, there's an entire database how-to video, Or get started just by visiting the Asset Library and browsing around. We've got a link on the screen to take you there, or visit communitypartnerpage.com/resources. If you could use additional support navigating everything, reach out to partnerinfo@wearedh.com. Yeah, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Happy to hear them.
Thank you for sharing, Shireen. Again, as everyone is seeing, lots of really valuable technical assistance and that's available for you all, again, at no cost. But yeah, let's open it up for questions.
Yeah, if anyone has questions, feel free to jump in. The community partner page essentially is a web page that DEH built in partnership with DOH. And it features a lot of different resources. It's kind of our collection of all different things related to our efforts in the program, but all technical assistance offerings as well. So there's a calendar of community partner events. So if you are hosting any events and you want some help getting the word out, or you want to create some visibility for DOH or other community partners, please add your events to the calendar. There is a form on the homepage of the community partner page, which is communitypartnerpage.com. So feel free to add any events there. Make sure that DOH has good awareness about events. It will also help us feature your events in our newsletter. And certainly if you've got events coming up and you need promotional materials or you want some support with that, happy to help you all even create those materials. That is what we're here for, is to make sure that you're able to reach your communities and get good turnout for your events.
Yes, I do have a question for you, Shireen. First of all, thank you very much for explaining the details. I stumbled into all this information when Rua sent me the link, and I went there and I was just overwhelmed. It was a lot of information, but it was all vital information. Now, if I can speak specifically for us from Channel ATV, we develop a lot of content as well because we deal with the community almost on an everyday basis. And I wanted to know if there's any content that's already developed that we can use on an everyday basis, maybe catering to the youth. For example, every Friday we have the youth coming from Why Not You Academy, which is Russell Wilson's school. And the kids come, of course, they get excited, they see the cameras and things like that. But within that process, we give them content that's relevant to them in that space. But I was wondering whether when we develop our own content, what are the approved logos that we can use on the content that we're creating in terms of the logos? I know that I read somewhere DOH was saying if we don't put a disclaimer at the end of the video, then we have to run it by them, which takes about 3 to 4 weeks, something like that. But I was just wondering whether you have any standard logos that we need to put in, to promote the partnerships that we have with the community. So I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your question. What I'll say is that we'll certainly follow up with you. There is a guidance doc about the DOH disclaimer and acknowledgement language and branding, and we can totally help with that. And then regarding the content, we'd love to help you with the content calendar. So if we can help in any way to create, consistent messaging or help point you toward youth relevant messaging, we've certainly got a lot of different resources and we can help streamline that for you. Thank you.
Yes, certainly. One of the things that I almost forgot, we do have an event coming up on the 12th. This particular event is important because it's a candidates forum in the city of Kent. And these are folks that are running for different positions within the city council. So we do have the opportunity to give them the questions regarding to what their thoughts are when it comes to COVID and vaccinations and things like that. I was wondering if maybe we can talk about that as you answer our questions, so that maybe we can take advantage of that, because people will be watching them speaking. I think the folks that put policies together, it's important that give us a direct message. And so I think I'm wondering if we can get some sort of guidance to that so we can take advantage of the politicians as well, as much as they are communicating with the community. So if there's anybody who wants to attend, please let us know. And then there'll be people there so we can display any type of materials.
Thank you. The goal of the Learning Network is for us to build these connections. So this is really great to see. One last item that we had for today, the Seattle Storm Academy that is coming up October 14th. This is DOH and Storm Academy for 8th to 12th graders. We'll send out the slide and we'll send out the flyer. If you work with 8 to 12 graders, we invite you to invite them to attend this, and there's a registration link there. Again, this will be like a day event from 8 to 5:30. There's going to be transportation provided depending on, there's a couple of locations where there will be transportation based on where the students are. But yeah, we welcome you to invite the youth and anyone who would be interested in it. And then so we have a survey link that we will send you. Again, we really hope that this is a space where you can tell us exactly what it is you want to talk about. So we'd love to hear your feedback and make sure that we're hosting these learning networks with topics and themes that are relevant and helpful to you. So we plan on doing a learning network event every other month. And then the month where we don't have a learning network, we'll send out a newsletter so that we can all stay in touch and stay connected. But again, thank you all so much for joining us. It was so great to see everyone.
Thanks, everyone.